Hey guys, it's Alicia Malone, and there are so many great indie films out this week that I want to tell you about here on Fandango Indie Movie Guide, so I'm going to rush through them, but let's start off with Colossal. This is one of my favourite films that I've seen this year. It's directed by Nacho Vigalondo, and it stars Anne Hathaway like you've never seen her before. It is a monster kaiju movie on one hand, and on the other hand, it is a drama about a woman who is trying to overcome the beast within, which is alcohol. It's about the monster that we become when we're drunk, and most importantly, it's about breaking the cycle of abusive relationships and falling for these people who seem nice, but in the end, they are the gigantic, terrifying monster that is looming over you and using you for fun.
You all right?
Yeah, it's this nervous tick I have. I get this itch.
Oh my God.
Anne Hathaway is absolutely brilliant in this role, and she's also one of the executive producers. Also stars Jason Sudeikis. It's funny, it's smart. Highly recommend you watching Colossal out in theaters this weekend.
Keep it cool. Oh my God, these people are looking at us.
She's the monster.
Now to a Japanese anime called Your Name. I have been waiting for this movie to come out for a long time. It's been out in the UK for a while. Japan, it did really well. And everybody's been telling me you have to see Your Name. And I'm so glad I did. It is a beautiful movie, both in the way the anime looks and the emotions that it will elicit. It's directed by Makoto Shinkai, and it's essentially a body swap romance drama. It's about these two teenagers who wake up in each other's bodies, and they swap back and forth, and they have to figure out exactly what is going on. There's much more to the plot than that, but I don't want to spoil anything for you. This is a real treat.
No, これってもしかして俺たちは夢の中で入れ替わってる?
It has the usual funny moments that happen in body swap films where they wake up and they're like, oh, hang on, I'm a boy or I'm a girl. But beyond that, they form this really deep connection by trying to figure out who each other is and how they can get to each other. Definitely see Your Name. It is now out in limited theaters.
あなたは誰? お前は誰だ? 君の名は?
On to a movie called Their Finest. This is a World War II film directed by Lone Scherfig, who was one of the Dogma 95 movement members. That's the Danish film movement that relied on a lot of natural light and natural acting and no costumes and stripping all that artifice away. This is not that film at all. This is very beautifully shot, low budget, but it looks $1 million, and it really is a tribute to filmmaking. It's set in London in 1940, where a young woman, Katrin Cole, played by Gemma Arterton, becomes a screenwriter, basically because all the guys are gone, and they start to work on a World War II propaganda film.
I'm Katrin Cole. I'm one of the writers.
Katrin, between us, we'll have them weeping in the aisles.
Very funny moments where they delve into how certain effects were made before computer-generated effects were a thing. And I like Katrin's character. She is a very quietly assertive woman, but for the times, I think that makes complete sense. Sam Claflin plays the writer that she's working with, and Bill Nighy is fantastic as this washed-up actor who still wants to be treated like a star. It's a comedy, it's a romance, it's a drama, it's a lovely way to spend an afternoon. Check out Their Finest in theaters this weekend.
You and me, given opportunities only because young men are gone. But to turn our back on those opportunities, wouldn't that be giving death dominion over life?
You really have to smoke that thing, don't you? I mean, couldn't you just mime?
I can mime smoking, I can't mime smoke.
And on to vampires now, with a vampire movie called The Transfiguration.
So what are vampires like?
I think it starts with drinking blood. Like you have a need to. Eventually that's not good enough, so you switch to animals and people.
It's an American movie, it's all set in New York, and it's about a guy who is a vampire, I think. He might not actually be a vampire. He might just be obsessed with vampires and kind of a murderer. He might need blood to survive, or he might actually be making himself sick because he's taking the blood. This is what I love about indie films, because you can take a huge concept like vampires, which have been done in blockbuster levels, and strip it down. The Transfiguration will keep you transfixed the whole way. Try to see it in theaters this weekend. I know it won't be playing everywhere, but it is worth a watch. And last but not least, a Romanian film called Graduation. This is directed by Cristian Mongiu, who did 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, which is another excellent film. This is about a young girl and her father. Her father really wants her to succeed at school so she can get a scholarship and go to the UK. He's put everything into making that happen because he wants her to have a better life than he and his wife were able to. But just before her huge exam, the daughter gets assaulted, and so she's unable to concentrate on her work. It puts her future at jeopardy, so her father decides to do whatever he can, whatever it takes, to try to make his dream for her come true. It looks at those kind of parents who push their children into doing things that they weren't able to do themselves, and they do it out of love, but that line gets blurred. A lot of moral questions with this one. Check out The Graduation if you can find it in theaters.
Suntem și noi oameni și avem și noi copii. Însă legea e lege. Și cine persistă în greșeală, în final e posibil să trebuiască să dea socoteală.
Cum ai putut să faci așa ceva?
Îmi pare rău.
So many great little indies for you this week. As I say, I hope that you can find them in theaters. If you can't, then just note them down and put them aside, and when they come out on video on demand, or if they do happen to play in a town near you, you'll know that they're worth your time and money. So go and see the monster movie Colossal, the beautiful anime Your Name, the inspiring war movie Their Finest, the dark vampire movie The Transfiguration, and the complex drama Graduation. Just a couple for you to watch there. As always, let me know what you've been watching in the comments below, or you can tweet me at Alicia Malone. I'll see you soon. Bye.